Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you. To yourself over and over. What are we saying we're sorry for? We're saying we're sorry because, one, things happened to us that damaged us, that took us away from who we really are. And now we're getting back into what God had intended us to be. And so when you start, or whatever you reference the Creator with, but we get back into a place of homeostasis. Mm-hmm. And when you get back to the place of homeostasis, we're in a place where we're feeling renewed. We can be ourselves. Our parasympathetic system, our nervous system, we're not all over the board. We're beginning to see ourselves for who we are. So it's a beautiful thing to begin to practice caring for and nurturing those areas that was damaged. So our mindset, the way that we look at people, the world is, my family is, and we can begin changing some of that.
You are just something else, let me tell you, because that is so important. And let's talk about this one little piece, because you mentioned it. So, sometimes we give people grace because of the titles they hold. And they may cause us some pains that, honestly, nobody can fix but ourselves. Do you have a word of advice for those individuals that may have been hurt, betrayed, not cared for in the ideal fashion that they feel they should have been cared for by, let's say, a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, someone that holds that title that should be nurturing who we are as people, and they missed the mark for whatever reasons? I'm going to say because they couldn't, right? I don't think anybody decides to just not show up for someone that they love, right? Sometimes it's just they can't. Is there a word that you could say or advice that you could give to individuals who have been subject to a relationship that is close to them that didn't meet what they had in their idea should have been like?
Well, let me first say, usually we end up living in the stories that we have experienced ourselves. Mm-hmm. So sharing my story, or sharing what I know have lived through, sharing what I study. I do a lot of research when it comes to forgiveness and unforgiveness. I think about my own story and journey of how I've had to get to the other side, mm-hmm. and what that looked like from my own mother. And I was adopted from birth, given up at birth, no name. And so I was the little baby in the orphanage that didn't have a name, so they called me baby girl. Mm-hmm. And when the parents that came to choose me, they gave me both their mother's names, so Ella and Amanda. And when I think about my journey, I had to begin to forgive, because one of the reasons I think is so imperative for us to focus on forgiveness, because our life has already been written out. Mm-hmm. We have a purpose, we have a prophecy, and there's a plan. And so look at my life. I was given up without a name. 2 people that adopted me gave me both their parents' names. The name that I'm using for my brand today is Miss Ella. Mm-hmm. Miss Ella Inspired. I wouldn't be Miss Ella if I had stayed with my biological mother. Because when I met her, I asked. And she says, oh no, I wouldn't have given you that name. And so when we look at our journey, our experiences, I look at our prophecy that's over our life. And getting through that prophecy means we got to do the work, so that we're not holding anyone else hostage for what happened. Mm. So now that I look at my adopted parents, they didn't stay together after the age of 4. When I turned 4, they separated and divorced. And so the mother, my adopted mother, didn't know how to parent well. And so I ended up leaving home at 15, pregnant and on my own. And I lived on my own, forever. I mean, I never went back home. And that lifestyle that I began to choose wasn't always the best. But I had to come to an agreement with myself to not hold her hostage any longer. And I remember by this time she was deceased, and I remember going to her gravesite and just pouring my heart out to her and just saying that I needed a mother. And those things that you don't get, sometimes we never get them. Mm-hmm. But we have to find a way to care for ourselves.
Yes.
So that self-care, doing that self-care for ourselves is the best way to learn to walk in your own forgiveness. Because in that, there's that journey. There's the prophecy. I go back to the prophecy. I go back to the plan over my life. And then I go back to nothing matters at all. It just doesn't. Nothing really matters. So we stay in this pain because we can actually feel it if we keep ourselves there. But what if we're willing to open up that door and say, I no longer want to live in this no more. That's what I had to do. I no longer want to live in this misery. So you can say to yourself, do I want to be bitter or do I want healing? Which one do I want?
Because you can't have both.
Because you can't have both. Come on.
I love that.
That's right. Yeah.
I love that. Because you're right. You said you could feel it. And that's why usually people stay there in that painful place because they feel it. So
they feel it.
And that becomes a part of their identity. But they really don't want to be there. So it's hard to stay there, right? Even though they could have a feeling. But it's also hard to move because you have to create new feelings. Oh, my gosh. This is so good.
That's right.
This is so good.
And you got to do the work. You got to do the work.
You do.
It's like I've been here. I've been in this space. And I remember holding on to unforgiveness like it was a medal of honor. I used to carry it around with me. If we got into a private conversation, I was going to tell you all about it, how they hurt me, how they didn't parent me, how I was abused, how I went through this. And it was just like, when are you going to get a new story?
Yeah. Because people really want to hear how you overcame. That's what they really want to hear. How did you overcome? So that leads me to my next question, right? So when you don't feel like it, because I have to know that every day you don't feel like inspiring somebody else. So what do you do on the days when you don't feel powerful or purposeful? What do you do, Miss Ella Inspires?
I go within. I'm going to tell you, I live by this. I live this life. Because if I don't know how to inspire myself, then I might as well just pack up and go home. I won't be able to inspire anyone. This is my calling. And on those days, I go within. I turn it off. I turn it off. I rest. I rest my mind. I rest my body. And I have learned to do that. I've given myself permission to rest.
Yes, ma'am.
And I take naps.
Yes, I am the president of the nap ministry. It is so good. And a good 30 minutes to an hour is all you need. Get you right back on track.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Thank you for saying that, Ms. Ella. I appreciate that. So if your younger self could sit across from you today, what would she thank you for?
That I didn't give up.
Yes. Tenacity.
That I didn't give up.
Yes, ma'am.
Because there was a point in time where I could have, and that I attempted, and that I didn't.
I'm so glad.
Go there, that I didn't take us there. Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Oh, yeah.
What a gift to us all. What's a message that you hope that every woman listening right now carries with her after hearing you today?
To trust the process. That's your healing process.
Yeah. You do.
Yeah.
You do have to trust it.
Yeah. So trust it. Live in it. Walk in it. Breathe in it. Get the support. Community is extremely imperative for us, especially in these days again. I think the cycle, because we realize nothing is new under the sun. So it's a cycle again that we are learning to collaborate together so that we can walk together. Because we make hurt alone, but we heal together.
Yes, we do. Oh, I love that. So I'm going to lighten it up a little bit because you do have a fashion side to you that is quite brilliant, in my opinion. You know, you bring fashion into healing in such a beautiful way. How does style and self-worth connect for you?
Oh my gosh, I think it's you got some good questions here. This is just beautiful. I love how you tie that in to what I adore doing is dressing. I tied into helping us to identify not only our worth, because our worth is something internal, but it helps to spark a goodness, a good feeling. It helps us to be vibrant. And I think when we walk out that door, or even when we're at home sometimes, and we put something on, I recall my husband saying, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm not going anywhere. I wanted to put on something to make me feel good."
Yes.
And we have a right to do that.
Yes, we do.
And so fashion is a part of healing the wounds at times when those wounds were really prevalent in my life. I would dress up, not to cover them up, but to help me feel better about what I was living through.
Oh.
And I think it just kept spewing on into where I am in my life now. So I dress because it pleases me. It brings joy into my life.
That is so important because we know the fabric makes a difference, the color makes a difference, all of these intricate details makes a difference in how you feel. We're more in tune with that now than ever before. So what's one stylish shift that can instantly help a woman feel more aligned with her purpose? What could she do? Pay attention to the garments, quality of the garments? Like, what could she do to instantly help her feel more aligned, if you can give her a tip?
Find something that sparks you, that lights you up, that gives you that, that feeling to say, I feel good when I put this on. If it doesn't feel good, don't wear it. Don't wear it. Change your colors sometimes. If you're used to wearing the browns and the blacks, wear something else. Find something that when you put it on, it lights you up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have an outfit? This is not one of my regular questions, but do you have like an outfit that's like your power outfit, and when you put it on, you're like, oh yeah, it's going down today, baby?
Oh my goodness! You know what? I wear this particular ring. It's really large. It's blue. It's blue and it's gold. I call it. I don't leave home without it. Everywhere I go, people can identify me as wearing that ring all the time. It reminds me of an accomplishment that I gave to myself when I finished my master's program. So when I mentioned that I only went to the 7th grade, I went back and got my GED at 30. And I earned my bachelor's at 45 and my master's at 50.
Nice.
And when I got on, this ring reminds me of my accomplishment of making straight A's in my master's program, one of my semesters. So I've invested in, it reminds me of a wonderful accomplishment in my life and on my journey. It was a reminder every day that I can do something great.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That will also add to others,
Yes, I'm so proud of you for going back and sticking with it. Let me ask you, where can we find you and all this good energy and information that you have when you're serving the community? Where can we look for you to plug in?
Miss Ella Inspires, one word.
Okay.
One word. All over. I'm Miss Ella everywhere. Facebook, I'm Miss Ella, and then Ella Amanda. But if you type in Miss Ella, you'll find me.
Okay. Awesome.
Pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere they are already, right?
Everywhere they are already. That's correct.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to make sure I tag you on my Instagram as well. Listen, Miss Ella, you have been amazing. You are just a wealth of knowledge. There's a whole piece that I didn't get into, but I wanted to make sure I gave them just a little tad bit, a little taste of the greatness that you possess. I'm going to ask that you come back and visit us in the 2026 year. Please do.
Oh, I would love to.
Awesome. And I'm going to make sure I reserve those questions because I have some more I wanted to get into about how you just, you talk about the sweet spot. We didn't even get to touch the sweet spot, but it's all good. That leaves something for them to come back for.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Miss Ella Inspires, the soul purpose coach and advocate for forgiveness, healing, and stepping boldly into your sweet spot. You can find Miss Ella Inspires everywhere that you choose to surf the internet, Instagram, Facebook. You can also stay tuned. I'm going to be repeating this after the hour. Thank you so much, Miss Ella. You're tuned in to I&I Radio. I am your host, Lady Limitless, DJ Rules. Good tunes, please.